Every time you avoid a money decision, you're quietly choosing a future you probably don't want. And before you think this only applies to people who are bad with money, or that you need some special knowledge to fix it, it doesn't. This happens to almost everyone, no matter your income, background, or experience. It's not about making perfect decisions. It's about not avoiding them in the first place. And the fix isn't complicated. It actually starts with something incredibly small. Just getting into the habit of facing one simple money decision each day, even if it feels uncomfortable. Because once you stop avoiding, everything starts to change. And here's the part most people don't realize. Avoiding money decisions doesn't feel like a mistake in the moment. It feels harmless. You tell yourself you'll deal with it later. You'll start budgeting next month. You'll invest when you understand it more. You'll check your bank account when you feel ready. But later quietly turns into weeks, then months, then years. And during that time, life doesn't pause. Bills still come in. Opportunities still pass by. Money still moves, just not in your favor. Most people don't have a money problem because they're reckless. They have one because they're passive. They're stuck in this cycle of knowing something needs attention, but never quite taking action. And that's where the real cost shows up. Because the biggest financial losses don't come from one bad decision. They come from hundreds of small decisions that were never made at all. Think about it. Not investing $100 doesn't feel like a big deal today. Not reviewing your expenses doesn't feel urgent. Not setting up a savings plan doesn't feel like a mistake. But when those moments stack up over time, they create a massive gap between where you are and where you could have been. And here's the truth most people miss. The problem isn't that money is complicated. The problem is that avoidance feels easier than action. So what's the actual solution? It's not some complex strategy or perfect financial plan. It's this. You need to build the habit of making small, consistent money decisions every single day. Not big ones, not life-changing ones. Just small ones. Because action, even imperfect action, breaks the cycle of avoidance. Here's what that looks like in real life. Instead of saying, I'll figure out my finances later, you open your bank account today, even if it's uncomfortable. Instead of saying, I'll invest when I know more, you spend 10 minutes learning or set aside a small amount to start. Instead of ignoring a bill or expense, you take 1 minute to look at it and understand it. These are tiny actions, but they do something powerful. They shift you from passive to active. And once that shift happens, everything starts to change. You stop feeling out of control. You stop avoiding your finances. You start making decisions with intention instead of emotion. And most importantly, you start building momentum. Now, let me make this a little more personal. When I think back, I can clearly see where this showed up in my own life. When I was around 18, working my first job at BJ's Wholesale Club, I had the opportunity to start investing, even if it was just a small amount. But instead, I avoided it. I told myself I'd figure it out later. I was going out with friends, spending money, enjoying life, and not really thinking about the long term. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun. But looking back, I do wish I had at least started, even in a small way. Because if I had taken something as simple as $100 a month back then and invested it consistently, that money would have had years to compound and grow. Not overnight, but steadily over time. And that's the part that really sticks with me. It's not just about the money I didn't invest, it's about what that money could have turned into by now. That's the hidden cost. And even though I'm in a much better place today, investing around 40% of my take-home pay, that early delay is still something I think about. And this is where mindset becomes everything. Because most people think they need motivation to take action. But in reality, action creates motivation. Once you start, even in the smallest way, you build confidence. You reduce anxiety. You feel more in control. And that makes the next decision easier. And the next. And the next. So instead of trying to fix your entire financial life at once, focus on this. Make one money decision today. Just one. Check something. Adjust something. Start something. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to happen. Because the longer you wait, the more expensive that delay becomes. Not just financially, but mentally. Avoidance creates stress. Action removes it. Avoidance keeps you stuck. Action moves you forward, and the truth is, you're already making a choice either way. You can either keep avoiding and drift into a future you don't want, or you can start making small decisions and build one you actually do. The best time to start was years ago. The second best time is right now. If this made you think differently about your money habits, take that first small step today and start breaking the cycle. Because your future isn't decided by one big moment. It's shaped by the decisions you stop avoiding.